Cheers.
Get started.
Okay. kind of running low on water.
Why don't you introduce what we're doing here?
All right. So, I'm Chris. This is Kirsten. I'm a teenager. She's a mom. And what are we doing? What is this podcast? Well, this podcast is basically us covering different things about the generational gap. Because I'm younger.
Clearly,
She is more wise.
Yes. Thank you for that. I am not.
Do you
yes,
not want to be wise?
No, I like wise.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
wise.
Yeah.
Okay, wise. You all heard it. He said it. I
Okay.
want credit. My qualifications for a mom include I'm going to move this a second.
Yeah.
I buy signs like this. I love you to the moon and back. So that's my qualification as a mom because we moms buy stuff like that. And what's your qualification as a teenager?
My qualification as a teenager is looking at that sign and being like, oh, my friends are going to make fun of me for that.
Yes. So we feel like that's qualification enough. So if you fit into a category where you would buy something like this, or you would respond like that, then you are a mom or a teenager.
And don't be confused. If you're 40 and you're saying, oh, I would never buy that. You're 40. You're an adult now.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think also a mom,
Yeah,
we sacrificed.
I think once you become
9
a
months.
mom, that's when you kind of just fall into that category.
Yeah, sacrificing 9 months of your life to
give birth to this.
carry you guys and give you all sorts of good food. And I mean, there's really a lot that goes into it.
A lot to talk about.
I'm just saying, thank you. Every once in a while would be okay.
Well, thank you.
Okay,
he's forced to get in my face right there.
Yeah, I love it. I love that we're getting it all on camera, so everybody.
Yeah, so it's just like an obligation.
And heard it. He said I was wise, and he also said thank you for being an amazing mom. I mean, he didn't say amazing, but he meant it amazing.
Yeah. I'm hitting a lot of good cylinders right here.
Yes.
I think,
Okay, so.
Anyways, so today what we're going to be doing is we're going to have a word of the day, and that's going to be kind of one of the segments we do on this podcast, and the word of the day is one that my generation finds really funny. Your generation probably hasn't heard about. Some may have. I don't know. You've kind of heard it from me and my brothers.
Yeah, I hear new words all the time, and I'm like, what are we saying? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I felt like our words in our generation lasted like a decade. So, when one said cool, people from the 80s through the 90s and even in the 2000s knew what cool meant. You even know what cool means.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I feel like cool. How long? Do you think cool was around in the 1800s?
I don't think it was around the 1800s,
Can
but we can Google it. Get on the Google. Okay, so for next time, we're going to find out the origins of cool. But a lot of the words that the kids these days are using, I mean, I feel like you guys don't have the air quotes. Air quotes.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, the words you're using, I don't know them. I think a lot of parents don't know them, and I think part of the reason is because they're rapidly changed.
And
so
it's also kind of the same idea that your parents probably didn't use cool until more recently.
I will have to Google that.
I'll
Google the
grandparents.
grandparents. I'll Google the grandparents.
You can still ask them.
Yeah, we'll ask them. We'll ask them if they used cool.
Yeah. But the word today that we're going to be talking about is simp. So
simp as in S-I-M-P.
Yeah.
Simp. Used in a sentence?
You are a simp.
No, that's not a... Okay. That is I would give you a D- on that using a sentence.
That's how you pass English.
Yeah, I don't think you do. I think your English teacher is going to see this and she's going to be in trouble. Okay, use it in a valid sentence.
That Chad is simping for Teresa.
Okay. Oh, so it can be a noun?
It can be a lot.
Adjective.
It's a very universal word.
Simping. He simped. So it can be a verb?
It can, yeah.
Oh my gosh. So you can be a simp?
Our generation,
wait, can you be a simp?
I
that
can
guy's
be a simp. That guy's a simp. I am a simp.
Noun. Mm-hmm. He's simping is a verb.
That's another, yeah. Our generation comes up with very diverse words.
Yeah, I mean.
We're a lot smarter than we look. It's unintentional, but it's there.
So give me a definition. You used it in a sentence, but give a definition.
A simp is a person who goes, by my generation's definition, above and beyond for a person they're interested in.
Okay.
Right? So let's say there's a girl, right? Okay.
Exhibit A, girl.
Girl,
okay.
Right? And I give that girl way too much attention, and I get you're a good friend. That's where you really get hit with the simp stick. Now, my generation also kind of uses it as a joke, where you could be in a relationship, and if you say good night, heart emoji, you're being a simp. That's an important part. If you don't send the heart, you're going to hear about it the next morning.
So no matter what, you're criticized. So
Yeah.
you're criticized if you don't send the heart.
Right.
Then you're like
well, by the
cold.
girl, and then the
Okay,
girl.
now what does the girl call you if you don't?
Okay.
You're the kind of person that's not giving enough attention.
Probably a douche.
We'll edit that. You ready to edit that? Okay, forget I asked. A girl would not use that word. No.
You never know.
Oh my gosh, this is totally
Nowadays-
gone downhill. No, a girl would not use. A girl would use that.
I mean,
I don't
you'd be
think
surprised.
so. We're gonna have to
There's-
have a
yeah,
guest on.
that's another thing you
Teenage
can
girl,
talk-
any teenage girl that would like to be on a guest to go through what you would
jeez.
actually say.
Oh.
Okay, all right. So
But
in my day, do you want to hear in my day what we would instead of
Yes.
simp
Instead of simp, yeah.
was whipped? That
Now,
person
can that
is
be as
whipped.
diverse as simp? Is that a noun,
Yeah,
verb,
no, I mean you
pronoun?
can't. No, it wasn't a noun. Like you wouldn't say he's a whip. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You are whipped. It's definitely in an adjective stand, but
But
it did come with its own like
Yeah,
it has
sound, like a
a
little
sound
soundtrack,
and like
yeah.
you go, you're whipped, you know, like and you would do the whip sound. Yeah, like so
Yeah.
it was fun because and I think that whipped lasted like decades. Like,
and well, obviously, still kind
well,
of.
I mean, I would still use it in certain like, oh my gosh, that. But
That
we,
dude is
you know,
whipped.
now like when you're married, you don't really say you don't really
You've
say
already
that
passed
dude
that
is
phase
whipped.
of where you're worrying about this relationship stuff. You're like, I've already finished this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying. when
Well,
I
I
say
just don't think.
relationship,
I think as you get older,
Yeah.
you want to do really nice things for each
I'm
other.
gonna be honest, Mom. I'm probably gonna have trouble. Like, you know, whatever verbs or words that come out later on. I'll be like 26, and I'm still be saying simp when my friend gets married.
Well, let's see how long you're friends. When the new wife is like, did he just say you're simping on me? That would I would caution against, you know.
Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind.
Yes, exactly.
That's some good relationship advice
Yes,
right there.
yes.
Don't say simp to married people.
Right.
Right.
It should just be a given that you would do nice things for each other.
Yeah.
Okay, so for everybody, so now you know the word simp can be used in a noun, a verb, or
Very
an
diverse.
adjective in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
It means that you're over the top nice, or maybe just in general nice, and you're being made fun of your friends. So that's our word for the day.
Word of the day.
Okay, and our other segment that we're going to have on these podcasts. What are,
Stories involving a similar situation
Okay.
as simping. So, like, an example could be, I'll start off. I'm not going to use real people's names as of this one, because I don't know if they're...
I don't think we should ever use real people's
Yeah.
names.
So we-
Unless they are a guest on our podcast.
They have to, like, I know if one of my friends watches this, and I'm going to use him as an example here, he's going to know who he is.
Right.
Right.
But I don't think everybody needs to know who he is.
No, yeah. So we'll start off. His name. You'll kind of get it when I say
Okay.
it. So my friend's name. That's not his
It's not his real name.
Not his real name, but the name we're using is Joe.
Unless you use his real name, but you say
But-
it's not his real name, and now
oh.
nobody even knows. And then you kind of do that.
Yeah. I think that'll give it away. It's like,
maybe
his name is
Do you
Joe.
like? Do you like grab your ear like? Oh, I'm talking about. Okay. Anyway, what's his fake
Focus.
name?
We're talking
Fake
about
name.
stories.
Okay, his
not
fake
names.
name.
So his fake name is Joe.
Joe.
Right. Joe. You'll probably catch on to that.
Joe.
Joe.
Okay.
Joe. Joe.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Just making sure.
I got it. I'm
Got it.
totally
So,
is
Joe-
Joe a simp?
That's the story.
Okay. Oh, getting ahead of
Because
myself.
I'm not going to throw myself under the bus until after you go, because then I'll throw myself under the bus.
Okay.
Okay. So, Joe, good friend of mine, goes to high school with me.
Yeah.
Cool guy. Very nice guy. Single, still, unfortunately.
Okay.
And he suffers from simping, right?
Okay.
Another way you can use like a disease or illness.
Okay.
Okay.
It's really
It's-
well-rounded
Yeah,
work.
very well-rounded. He liked this girl who went to a different school than us, right? And she, as if to add on to that, she was also a grade above him, but they did know each other. They went to like the same church or something, you know, the usual thing. And he was talking to me and my friends about it at the school table, and he said that he'd start talking to her or start seeing her that way, like midway through the summer. And throughout the school year, he would constantly tell us about like what he'd be doing, and you know, he'd be like, "Oh, I texted her. She responded." I was like, "Oh, that's good stuff." And that's and it'd be like dry responses. Like if it, I felt bad, but you know, it was also kind of funny.
Okay, so now dry response meaning there was not a lot of
There was
love
not-
there.
yeah,
It was
no.
not. She wasn't returning.
That's like if we were having a conversation, I told you the radius of the sun, you're like, mm-hmm.
Right.
That is a dry response.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I knew the radius of the sun, if you said, mm-hmm, yeah, I would be kind of little mad.
Yeah, because I would be like, oh my gosh, you know the radius
know
of
the
the sun.
radius of the
Yeah.
sun.
But a girl who is not interested, even if she was excited, is not going to get excited over a text because she doesn't want to lead you on.
Well,
or is there like dramatic music here? Or they do like you?
Well, girls are weird. If I understood I don't know how it's
No,
different.
I think it's
There's
pretty
some
consistent across generations. We can be strange.
Okay.
Because
well, I'm glad that I'm not just the only one thinking.
No, it's not strange and we're mysterious.
I'll give you that.
Unless you're mysterious to my son, and then I'm going to hear about it. Okay. Don't be mysterious.
I'm going to be single forever after this.
Yeah, you are. This is
Anyways,
all part of the plan.
So my friend Joe had been texting this girl, and the first big event that my guy had was homecoming. And, he was telling her, he was all hyped up about it. He's like, okay, I'm going to ask her. I'm like, okay, you're going to do it in person? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, wait, no, stop. You need to do it in person.
Right.
Joe. He probably knows who he is. Joe. Listen.
Listen,
buddy,
Joe.
listen. You gotta tell people in person.
Yes. For homecoming.
Like, that's part of the, and this is before the whole pandemic thing. Like, this is still in person normal.
Oh, yeah. Everything we're talking about right now, unless we clarify it as it's pandemic time, we're talking about when you were free to chit chat and be amongst people without.
And go to McDonald's whenever you felt like it.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if he ended up actually going in person. I don't actually remember how he asked because I was focused on my own.
Okay, are you aware what Pinterest is? Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
You,
okay, there's
I'm
an
related
entire
to you,
Pinterest.
so yeah.
Yeah, right.
But that's the thing.
Okay, wait. That also classifies me as a mom. I have this sign, and I have a Pinterest board. And I have a Pinterest board that actually has...
I thought you were going to mention me, your son.
Oh, I have a kid, and I have a child.
You pulled one of these, and I was like, oh...
This guy! Okay, but I have a Pinterest board, and I specifically had a Pinterest board for Homecoming Ask to assist you in-person Homecoming Ask. So what we're saying is Joe was not going to ask in person.
I don't think he got her a sign.
Because, did he even say it in person? Like, just, hey,
he may have. I may be, Joe, I may be wrong. You may have done it. I honestly didn't know because I was busy trying to figure out my own situation, which that's a whole nother story for a whole other time. We're not going to go there. But he ended up getting her to go to homecoming. Props, okay?
Okay.
And that was positive.
I feel like this has turned positive.
Well, it's...
now you're reading a black
It's after
cloud.
homecoming that you see... It's like when you go on a roller coaster, like, yes, no, and then...
Clouds come.
Black clouds, yeah. And, hopefully, I don't know how things are going for him more recently because I haven't really asked about his love life.
It's been COVID and nobody gets to do anything. But okay, back.
So, it's homecoming, right? Joe, he's telling us about the whole plan, like during English. He's like, okay, listen. My plan is I'm taking her to this place to eat beforehand. Don't remember the place because I have the memory of a goldfish. He took her to some place, right? And then homecoming, right? She's at homecoming with us. And then afterwards, they went to eat. They were going to go to eat at some like ice cream cereal place. I don't really know what it's called either because, like I said, goldfish. So he took her to homecoming, right? I did not know what his outfit was until I saw him. And when I tell you that his suit looked like he tore off his bedsheet, sewed it into a suit, I'm not lying. I'm talking white and blue, like thin stripes.
If he felt good in it, then it was good.
If he felt good,
did
he felt
feel
confident.
good?
I think he felt good.
Then I think, why did we even bring it up? He did great.
No, yeah. It was more.
Way to go, Joe.
Good job, Joe.
Okay, so
the whole homecoming thing went pretty well, right? Went to a
Right.
cereal place, all went well. He was expecting to get some action, like not hardcore action. We're talking like,
Again, it's your mother. Okay. He expected a good
I
night.
said action.
He expected a good night kiss.
Okay, no, I didn't want to say that at first because I know if you're going to be like...
No, I think a good night kiss.
Okay, so we're classifying kiss as a normal... Like, that's something we can say.
Yes.
Okay, I'm making sure. I'm trying... now that I think about it, that may have been a better choice than action.
Do you think than action? I mean, let's be honest. I mean... Yes. Okay. So a good night kiss.
Did not
most
get
mothers
it, right?
at the age of 17, I think we've come to grips that there's going to be a good night kiss.
Gotcha. Just making sure. Okay.
Action, on the other hand, I'm just saying. Okay, continue. I digress.
Yeah. Okay. So over time, after that, we thought things were going to go well, and then it just kind of went downhill for him. And at that point, that's when we really said he was simping, was because he was trying so hard to go after this girl.
But it sounded so good. Okay, it sounded so good. Is this after homecoming or that same night?
This is after homecoming. This is kind of after homecoming, like the day after.
So did something not go as nice as he thought it went?
Maybe, but this at the same time, girls are mysterious.
Aren't you supposed to be
weird,
his wingman? You're supposed to know this stuff.
I don't know who this girl is. She doesn't know who I am. She saw me for about 5 seconds and acknowledged that I was in existence.
Okay.
And then she kind of just phased out, and I never like knew her, talked to her, whatever. So I couldn't. It's hard to wingman for your friend.
Well, I think right there was already a red flag in my mind that she wasn't interested in knowing his friends.
That's
just letting you know, as a girl.
Yeah.
If I liked a guy, I would want to know his friends too, because you want to get in with the friends. If she was not interested in getting in with you guys, now of course this is generational. Maybe it's different.
Yeah, it could. As we know from some more recent situations, there is times where girls will invade, like being with a guy's friends, and that will cause absolute havoc amongst.
And there's a difference between invading and I'm just saying something
like,
happened that something was already happening at homecoming to poor Joe, where she just wasn't as interested.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was kind of after that we started seeing, that downward spiral.
And this is where
this is where simping kind of became. Okay. He got her like a basket, right? Super nice. I would have dated him if he got me a basket full of chocolates. I mean, he pulled all the right moves as far as the guy's concerned. But that girl, I think, was just kind of, she was never really fully into it.
Right.
And the reason we said he was a simp, and I referred to him as a simp machine as a joke and also serious, like 50-50, is because he kept trying to talk to this girl when she already seemed like she was already out of it.
Yeah.
And she'd give him small glimmers of hope, like give him that little
See, now that's not nice.
Yeah, and that's where, it sucks for him, but it's just, it falls under the category of being a simp. Very tragic story, but eventually...
It's so tragic. It makes me want to try and call Joe and give him a hug. But it's COVID, so it's just a little virtual thing here, Joe.
That's about
okay. The thing about simping, though, how do you draw the line between over the top and being a nice boyfriend? I guess it's what's returned to you.
Yeah, it's what's returned to you. And then also, a lot of times people say simp is a joke, like I mentioned. But most of the time, if you want to be literal about it, it's the amount of attention you get back.
Okay, so there's one difference then between whipped and simping. Because whipped is more like the person that's getting all the attention, takes it and doesn't give any. Well, I know it's the same thing. But I feel it's a little different in that you were already in the relationship.
Yeah. So whipped
simping is
in a relationship. Simping is so
trying to get in a relationship.
Trying and in. Oh. But more in is
I think you should have another word. For in. Okay, I'm just saying. If someone asked me, which nobody did.
It's like a hidden golden rule. Like how a moral rule. You can say you're simping in a relationship. Most of the time it's as a joke or when it's that kind of relationship.
Out of curiosity, how did Joe feel about you guys making fun of him by simping?
He saw it was more as a joke. He wasn't sad. He's a very strong guy. Joe's a very strong guy, physically and mentally. Very good guy.
Well, there you go, Joe. See, I think Joe probably.
Joe's got a lot going
I bet he rocked that little. Can you say rocked? Is that okay?
I mean,
I think he rocked the suit. Is that?
Rock.
Gosh, we're really getting through a lot of these words.
Yeah, we're really coming.
We might need a dictionary, like a parent-kid dictionary.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Well, this was I would like to hear a happy ending that Joe, has found love elsewhere, but
I mean, it's someday.
But it doesn't.
When it does happen, we'll make sure to let Joe.
We'll have Joe on as a guest.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe.
Joe, who's not simping anymore.
He's not simping. He's made it.
In a happy relationship.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, I feel like we really covered some good stuff.
Some good ground. First time. Covered some good ground. Is there any story that you had that's kind of similar to someone simping? And you're a girl, so I'm sure there's been a few guys that,
What? So long ago.
When you do that you have a very specific
memory. I don't have a specific memory. I think some things are generational, that don't really, we didn't use the word simp, but I think that feelings and wanting to go out on a date and the date not going like you wanted and one person liking one person more than the other is multi-generational.
Universal.
Yes, universal. I do not have, because I am so wise like that, I don't have one that comes to mind. I do know that we ladies sometimes are torn between wanting to be nice and not making someone feel bad, and then also sometimes... No, I mean really.
Oh no, I know it's
true.
It hit a chord for me.
We're a unique,
species,
very special group. That
species. Oh,
what's that?
It's
okay. Oh my God! Let it straight and fade to black. Sorry, none of you saw that.
No, I think it's still...
His disc is almost full, though, so we're going to have to wrap it up. I will have a better story next time.
Yeah.
I think because I'm so wise, they don't come...
My brain is so full.
They're not so full of such great
You took
stories.
that and are just running with it.
I am. I like the wise. I think I'm going to make a t-shirt for us both.
I'm wise.
I am wise. I am his wise person. His will say, this is my wise mom. And I'm going to say, I'm his wise mom.
Oh.
Anyway, super fun. We'll be back. I guess, can people give us suggestions of words they want to know?
If you have, we covered 2 different generations. If you have a word or a story or something interesting that we can use as a topic, we'll gladly do it, Yeah. As we've discovered in this about 20 minutes, there's a lot of words.
There's a lot. I'm surprised we can communicate effectively when you have so many words I didn't know. And
yeah. We have our own
amazing.
language developing.
You do.
I can't even imagine the foreign words that are being come up with that I don't even know.
Right. True.
So that could be.
Yeah. There's a lot of hanging fruit here we can go over. Foreign words for teenagers.
Oh, jeez.
There's probably some really good ones actually. We'll get on the Google for that as well.
A lot of Googling.
Getting on the Google.
Getting on the Google. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed this first episode, pilot episode, whatever you want to call it.
You're gonna have to come up with a name.
Okay. A lot of names. Simp, maybe something like that.
No.
But anyways, we hope you enjoyed. We'll be back another time, and we hope to see you then.
Bye.
Bye. Cheers.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers. Yep.